Hey y'all. Today I wanted to try and experiment with some keto pickle chips that I have seen going around on social media. So I made some and I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what I think about them and tell you what I would do differently the next time I make them. All right, let's get cooking. So to begin, I'm going to take a plate and I'm going to line the plate with some paper towels. So on the paper towels, I'm going to lay out 18 dill pickle chips. I'm going to start with 18 at first, and then as you'll see later in the video, I'm actually going to be using a little bit more. And then I'm going to take some more paper towels and I'm going to place them on top of the pickles, and I'm going to pat them dry as I can get them. Now that my pickles have been patted dry, I'm going to begin working on creating the pickle chips. And y'all, technically I'm gonna call these pickle poppers because they're gonna come out a lot bigger than a typical chip. So I'm going to take 18 muffin molds that have been sprayed with a nonstick cooking spray, and I'm going to fill each mold with reduced fat, sharp cheddar cheese. The amount of cheese I'm using is about a tablespoon. All right, now that the cheese is done, done for now, I'm going to take my pickle chips and I'm going to lay one chip inside of each mold. Some molds are only going to have one pickle chip in them because they were large enough to fill up, a good amount of space. But the molds that have small pickle chips, I'm actually going to add a second one in there as well. And I'm just going to put them side by side into the molds. On top of the pickles, I'm going to sprinkle some Hidden Valley Ranch dressing mix. The amount of ranch dressing mix that I'm using would equal about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Now that I'm done with the ranch, I'm going to take the reduced fat, sharp cheddar cheese and I'm going to add about a tablespoon to the top of the pickle chips. After I add the top layer of cheese, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, and this is just to taste. All right, my Keto Ranch pickle poppers are ready to be popped into the oven. I'm gonna put them in a preheated 400-degree oven for 15 minutes. Now, while those are cooking, I'm going to be zhuzhing up some ranch. Now, the ranch that we like to use is made by Walden Farms. What we like about Walden Farms is that they make 0 calorie, 0 carb, 0 sugar ranch dressing, as well as other dressings. Now, if I had to compare their ranch dressing to someone else's ranch dressing, to me it tastes like Chick-fil-A's Garden Ranch. Now, to me it has a good flavor, but I like my ranch to be spiced up a little bit more, and so I'm going to be adding a few seasonings to the Walden Farms ranch, and then I'm going to give it a good shake. So to the Walden Farms ranch, these are the seasonings I will be adding. And all the seasonings are going to be 1/8 of a teaspoon. So I'm going to be adding salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and ground paprika. I'm also going to add in 1/8 of a teaspoon of accent and 1/16 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now that the seasonings have been added, I'm going to give everything a good shake. Some of the seasoning has a tendency to stay at the top of the bottle, so I'm just going to take the 1/8 of a teaspoon that I was using and just kind of shove it down into the bottle and then give it another good shake. All right, y'all, 15 minutes is up and my Keto Ranch pickle poppers are done. And now I'm gonna add some Parmesan cheese to the top. All right, y'all, it is time to taste and to give you my honest review. So if I had to rate these on a scale of 1, meaning throw it out in the street, or 10, I would pay for that. I would give this about a 7. The pickle poppers didn't blow my socks off, but they were okay. Some changes that I would definitely make would be to use fresh cheddar cheese instead of the pre-packaged cheddar cheese. We know that if it's fresh cheddar cheese, it's gonna have a better flavor, better texture. It's just gonna be better all the way around. Another thing I would change would be the amount of cheese that I use for each popper. Instead of using a full tablespoon on top and bottom, I would try a 1/2 tablespoon on the top and bottom. The last thing I would change would be how long I cooked the poppers. I would check them around the 12 to 13 minute mark. To me, they got a little too done, and some of mine actually burned a little bit around the edges. So again, I would reduce the time to see if that makes a difference with the flavor. Well, all right, y'all. Thank you for joining me today as I made my Keto Ranch pickle poppers. And if you end up giving these a try and you change some stuff up, let me know what you did in the comments below. Or if you ended up making these exactly as I did, let me know your thoughts as well. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.